Hi guys, this is Gauri. You obviously don't know me, and it's obviously my first time saying anything to you guys, which is a little different than what you might think people say on this platform or people talk about, or it might be the same thing, but it's through a personal experience that I want to just share with you and just say that how important being with yourself is important in such situations if somebody is going through that, and obviously your friends or your parents, I would say, not family members, because family members involve a huge amount of people that come across, and sometimes your cousins help you, sometimes your parents do help. The thing that I'm going to talk to you about today is when you have that motivation, when you have that ambition, when you know that you want to achieve, you want to go to the best and the topmost level of achievement, and you have that confidence, you have that knowledge, you have those resources, the company, the firm, or even if it's your own startup, whatever it is that you're doing, everybody is supporting you in that, and you want to do it more than anything else, right? And then you come across a person who is on a higher position, a step higher, I would say, a little bit of more experience, a little bit of let's just say more experience and nothing else, because that's what got the person to where he is right now. And that person is trying to stop you or pull your leg down, because he doesn't want you to get there by any means. There may be different reasons for that. He wants somebody else, or he doesn't want you at all. He just wants you out of the picture, and you just ignore that, right? And in such scenarios, for example, the people in the company, for example, the people who are even higher than that person who's trying to pull your leg, helps you, talks to you, is much more pleasant to you, much more supportive towards your goals and ambitions than anybody else in the firm, actually. Or your parents help and come into picture, they help you, and you wake up every day and you're like, no, I want to do this, no matter what, who is stopping me, whoever is doing that, or whatever they're thinking, what I am thinking right now is much more important, or what I am trying to achieve, what my ambition is at the moment, is what is more important for me, rather than anything else in this complete entire world, right? What he's thinking, what the other person is thinking, what the other 15 people are thinking, doesn't matter, right? And the people who work with you notice the change, notice how you are as a person, how they feel around you, and they mention that to you, right? And you're like, yes, you get that confidence, and you're like, yes. But each and every time something like that happens and that person tries to pull your leg down, and the same thing happens and the drama continues. Now, all I'm trying to tell you here, guys, is at this moment that I'm sitting right now and I'm talking to you, I have realized a very important thing. I think that is how much you yourself are important for the thoughts that you're going through, the emotions that you're going through, the turmoil that you have inside yourself, and you're like, I don't know what to do. I want to cry right now. I want to ignore it right now. I just want to cry right now because I am like, I don't know what to do. And that's when the internal part of yourself, which we as youngsters, we are like, no, I don't want to get into that, it's too deep shit, and I don't want to believe in all those things because I am the creator of it. Yes, you are the creator, I would say, but in your terms, yes, you are. But what I'm trying to say is, that's when you just sit and talk to yourself and make yourself understand that standing up each and every day, not for anybody else, but for yourself, to make sure, no matter how many people are pulling your leg down, no matter how many people are doing whatever they're wanting to do, just let them do it. But I'm not saying you shouldn't talk about it. You should definitely talk about it. You should talk about it to the right authority or to the right people who you need to talk to. Not to anybody or everybody, or just try bashing them all of a sudden. No, it's not like that. It should be with the right timing, with a right tone of your voice, to make sure that the person you're talking to shouldn't take it the wrong way. Even if you're right, sometimes your tone can just make it go the other way around, or I would say just your emotions overpowering you and not letting the practical things get onto the way and come through you when you're talking to that manager. That is what is most important. What do you talk to your manager? What do you say to your, not your manager, but whoever you're talking to about the situation? And yes, they are equally important, because they need to understand, if you're taking holidays, if you're taking day offs, if you're taking whatever you're taking, it's not for vain. Because when you're someone like, I'm not saying, if you're someone who gives your 100%, right? You want to give your 100% no matter what kind of situation you're in, because that's what you're there for, right? Because that's what you're there for. That's what your gut tells you to do, because that's your original nature, right? And that's what you do. But all I'm trying to say here is, there are moments, there are days, there is a single particular day when you think, oh my god, what should I do? I just don't know what to do. I just don't feel like getting up. I just don't feel like going to work tomorrow. That's when your logical thinking mind, and that mind who is equally still ambitious to make sure you do what you want to do, so that you get what you wanted to get, and you do it all over again the next day. The most important thing to remember here is, you are the one who's most important, okay? Keeping yourself healthy, happy, prosperous, intellectual, I would say, whatever it is, keeping yourself happy there is the most important thing. People say, okay, I think for me happiness is the most important thing. Happiness is most important, everybody knows that. But when you're at the deepest, when it's not because of you, when it's not because of you, or when it's very clear that it's because of somebody else, and people still say in some videos that you are causing trouble in your head. When do you cause trouble to yourself? Is when you just come home, you neglect that situation that you're feeling inside, and you just sit there and cry. Or you sit there, and even after crying, I'm not saying crying is wrong, I'm just saying even after crying, you're like, okay, I feel a little better, or let's watch some television shows, or let's watch Netflix and just chill. That's not the time for you to chill. That's the time for you to sit down, understand the situation, whatever is happening, talk to yourself, and make strategies. Companies have strategies. Companies have long-term goals for themselves. Okay, this is the scenario. If the market is going down right now, what should be done? What should be done next to make sure that even if this downfall happens, first of all, it shouldn't happen again, because we are going to make remedies to make sure that this is never going to happen again. And then the second thing there is, okay, if it is happening right now, what are the ways to solve it? I think the most important and the most fantastic thing I have actually noticed in actors is they focus so much on themselves. When they are working, they are working. They're just working. They just want to make sure that that particular film which they are making is the best one that they make. Is the best one that they make. You know, they don't look left, they don't look right. They just want to do what they want to do. You know, and that's what I think you or me or even anybody in this situation, which I'm not going to lie, I am in right now, should do and can do, and it works. You know, just making sure, okay, this is my plan, I'm going to do. Even if there are troubles, you know, there is a high wind blowing, I'm going to walk towards it because the destination is just right there. Even if the wind is blowing that way, I'm still going to walk there because to make sure I reach there and I get what I want to get. You know, why are those people, I don't know if you guys have heard about Kangana Ranaut or any people who have just walked in the opposite direction of the storm or in the same direction as the storm coming. They just walk past it and they come and they are the conquerors. Why are those people so well known? Or why are these people so I don't know why, brilliant, amazing, prosperous, I would say, in their own self? And why do people love them so much? It's because they have done something that so many people are unable to do, you know. So let's be that person for our own selves. Let's be our own hero. I would say more than being anyone's hero, let's be a hero or a heroine for our own self, you know, because we are the hero and the heroine, no matter what people think, even what your parents think for that matter, even if what your friends think for that matter. What is important right now is what you think about yourself. When that storm is passing by, what do you talk to yourself? Do you talk and say, okay, this is our strategy, this is how we are going to work, this is how we are going to make sure that no matter how much the market falls, we are going to make a strategy wherein my company, which means my own self in this matter, or my mind or my head, is going to work according to what I say. For that, you need to be stable. Even if you cry like once every week, twice every week, once you start doing it, you start believing in that approach, you understand that no matter how many difficult situations I come across, I have the power, I have the intelligence. If you don't, you get the intelligence, you read, you know, you make sure you have it in yourself so that it works out. And some people may or may not agree on this. I'm not going to discuss about it, but there is a power in the universe. If you believe it or if you don't believe it, it's still going to be there with you. Even if you're going to say it's God, it's just an existential power, or whatever it is, or just the stars shining in the sky at night, whatever it is, I really don't care. That is always going to be there, because when it's there, it's like your father is holding your hand and you're just walking in a crowded street and you still reach the destination on time and you're happy about it. It doesn't matter if you reach first, if you reach last, if you reach, first of all, when you're with him or when you're with your parent. Actually, let's talk about your parents. You're always happy. It doesn't matter where you are. It's just that you're there. And in such scenarios, for you, what is important is to get to that goal, you know, to achieve that by your own self. Without, obviously your parents are going to be there, obviously your friends are going to be there, obviously the people who love your work are going to be there. They're not going to say that I'm not going to be there with you because blah blah blah. They're always going to be there because they are there. Okay, but it's just how strong do you make yourself in such scenarios to make sure that, first of all, after that, such circumstances won't come, because you are such a strong individual after that. You're such a practical individual after that. More than strong, you're just a practical individual who understands and knows that yes, storms do come, because that's natural. But, you know, I just remember one thing. If you see Santa, if you see Jesus, if you see Krishna, if you see anybody, anybody, let's talk about a human being right now, rather than those scriptures or spirits or God, which I believe they exist, and I respect all of them. All I'm trying to say is, great people who are still living here, who have left a mark, who are leaving a mark on the world, when they look at a situation, they're very calm, and they have this confidence. They have this internal confidence that yes, I am able to get past this and go beyond this. They don't think about the problems, they think of solutions, as commonly everybody says, and that is very true. That's what they do. And let's actually do that, don't you think so? I mean, I came home from work, I was upset at first, and then I had mixed emotions of crying, of laughing, of thinking how funny the situation was and how can I overcome that, you know. And then that's when I thought of talking to you guys, because, you know, everybody goes through the situations. Let's face it together. Let's be a stronger generation than any other generation before, you know. Let's hold each other's hands and lift each other up and make sure that we all get past through this, guys, and happily, you know, happily just let's get past through this, you know. And it was my pleasure talking to you, and I hope I talk to you a little more every time. Until then, I'll see you soon.